Welcome to the Lock Sportscast, your weekly source for Locksport news and sometimes interviews. This is episode 21, recorded October 24th, 2020. I'm your host, Charles Current. In today's episode, we have a new Multilock, Ballot box security concerns, some neat lock impressioning techniques, a cool new app, community updates, more criminals, sales, and of course, giveaways. You can find this show on most podcast apps, YouTube, and at thelocksportscast.com. YouTube and a few of the podcast apps have some restrictions that limit my ability to post full show notes with links, so if you are using one of those and you want full show notes that includes all the links, you can visit www.thelocksportscast.com. Quick announcement, I've been working on a design for a 3D printed trophy for the Locky Awards. If you want to check that out, you can go to my Twitter, Instagram, or Discord. I have posted pictures in all of those, so you can head over there and check that out if you're interested. First up, we have, there was an announcement by Multilock that they were introducing a new innovative and affordable locking system. It's called the MTL300. It says Multilock Technologies announces the launch of high-security patented locking solution MTL300. There are not a lot of details. It does mention that it's using existing technology and patents that are protected through 2033. So if they're going by US law, that would be 20-year patents, so patents that were taken in 2013. So it's probably just a rehash of some of their older designs to create an inexpensive system that still uses a more modern patented keyway. Southord has been promoting on email and Twitter like crazy that they are in production with their JPXS6 jackknife lockpick sets. So I thought I would just mention that. I have a new contributor, a new producer for the podcast. His name is BagsofLocks on YouTube, and he shared a couple of links for issues with ballot box padlock security concerns here. The first is a tweet that said, "Today, the ballot box at Dunbar High School is open," and it showed a picture of the padlock used. The padlock they showed was just on the flap that opened the slot for people to drop things in. But it shows just this cheap, generic-looking laminated padlock. I can't see a brand on it, and it doesn't show what kind of lock is used on the opening that are used to access the ballots to take them out. But if we assume that it's the same type, it's probably not good. Also, another link he shared was ballot Dropbox security concerns out of Baltimore. And a quick excerpt from that was, "Security of ballot boxes rests with cameras keeping watch, security tape, and padlocks on each box. Tyrone Powers, former FBI agent, said simply having locks on the boxes may not be enough to ward off criminals and suggested using another line of defense. You can put a small security device around the lock so that if it's even tampered with or broken, there's an automatic alert. It can be easily put in place," Powers said. So it sounds like they're just using padlocks and hoping nobody messes with them, and if they do, they'll catch them on camera afterwards, which doesn't help the people that voted there too much. And moving on to Locksport community news, Chirael shared a story with me actually about a month ago, but to be honest, I kind of lost track of the link, called Making Keys for an Older Wilson Bohannon Padlock. This person has a very well written up article with pictures showing how they made a key from just a piece of basically brass flat stock. Totally cut it out, shaped it, impressioned to make a working key for an old Wilson Bohannon lever style padlock. And Chirael shared a tweet by Locknoob this week about a video he made called Champion 6 Lever Pancake Lock Impression. And he's using brad nails to self-impression a lever style pancake lock. And it's a neat technique. Locknoob says he didn't invent the technique. He's not actually sure who did, but it's a really cool little technique. So I recommend you go check that out. Link in the show notes as always. And in a follow-up to something that he shared for episode 18, Chirael shared a tweet by Tiffany Cheatham, or at CatacornSun on Twitter. Her Houdin ID open source app for physical pen testers and Locksport enthusiasts has been released into the wild. She has a YouTube video demo and a link to the GitHub and a place to submit more lock images. So if you want to check that out, I'll have those links in the show notes, including to the tweet itself. And Chirael also shared a video by Lockpicker about how to straighten bra underwires to use for lockpicks and rakes. So I will have a link to that in the show notes. Could be very handy for those of you who have access to those types of materials. And I was keeping track of Brummy's Corbin. It looks like Corncob had his video number 19 called Very Long Final Attempt on the hashtag #PickMyCorbin. He says he put about 5 hours into it and it wouldn't give up. The lock is now on its way to the Theboneinthebox, and hopefully he will be able to finally get this thing open. And Theboneinthebox let me know that he has it now and he is working on it. As of this recording, he hasn't had any luck, but he is determined to get that thing open. In Karate Belts this week, Lockpickers United Discord, we had Daco got his purple belt on the 19th. Lockpick Nick got his brown belt on the 23rd. RC13, his red belt on the 17th. And Georgia Jim, I'm sure many of you know, got his red belt on the 19th. So congratulations, gentlemen. In lockpicking criminal news this week, Redheaded Lockpicker shared a story that was posted on Facebook. Reading Police Department. Officers were conducting extra patrols when they observed Victor Bubier, 53 years old, exiting a vehicle in the area reported by citizens to have an increased drug activity. Officers contacted him and found that he had felony warrant for his arrest. Search conducted of the vehicle revealed a lockpicking kit, which is commonly used by burglars, along with multiple baggies of methamphetamines and digital scales. He was arrested for possession of burglary tools, methamphetamine sales, and the felony warrant. He was transported to Shasta County Jail and booked. All right, and he also shared a story from Morton West Carlisle. Magistrates imposed a 6-month curfew on a Carlisle man who admitted going equipped for theft. James Alexander Bell, 47, of Richmond Green, Morton West, was caught with a lock-picking set and a screwdriver on October 10th. He pled guilty to handling stolen goods, mountain bike, and a chainsaw at the same hearing, and so, yeah, just got a curfew, it sounds like. To be deciphered shared a story from Corvallis, Oregon. Right. This story I should have known about, but I have been out of the loop a little bit. Albany man arrested in Corvallis on burglary charges. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Albany, Oregon. This is my area. An Albany man was arrested in Corvallis Monday morning after a police officer reportedly saw him trying to break into a garage. Officials say an officer saw 38-year-old Stephen Griffin get out of his car and sneak up to a detached garage in the area of Northwest 14th Street and Tyler Avenue. Officer said he heard cracking wood and then saw Griffin carrying a large crowbar. Griffin allegedly went to the driveway of a different home, changed shirts, where he was confronted and arrested by police. Police said officers searched the area, found a hooded sweatshirt, the crowbar, and lockpicks. He's charged with second-degree burglary, possession of burglary tools, and second-degree criminal trespass. To be deciphered also shared a story out of Surrey, BC. Man charged following possession of stolen identification. Man has been arrested with fraud-related offenses after producing a stolen identification card to police during a traffic stop. How stupid do you have to be to give a stolen ID to a police officer? Do you really think they're that dumb they're not going to check it out? On October 10th, 2020, shortly after 9 p.m., a member of the Surrey RCMP Community Response Unit conducted a traffic stop on a suspicious vehicle in the area of 107 Avenue and Old Yale Road. During the stop, the driver allegedly produced a stolen driver's license. The driver was arrested for obstruction for providing a false identity to the officer. Further investigation of the vehicle resulted in seizure of stolen credit card data, lockpicks, demagnetization device, and other items consistent with identity theft and fraud. The driver was identified as 30-year-old Tyler Misson, and on October 11th, 2020, he was charged with offenses related to fraud, driving while prohibited, and breach of probation. Wow. All right, I'd like to take a quick break, thank the people that made this episode possible, and the executive producers for this episode are all my Patreon supporters, and they are Medler, Panda-Frog, Michael Gilchrist, Starrylock, Williams Brain, and To Be Deciphered. They all have YouTube channels. If you haven't already subscribed to them, links will be in the show notes for all of them. Content producers for this episode are BagsofLocks, Chirael, Theboneinthebox, Redheaded Lockpicker, To Be Deciphered, Dusty and Windy, Panda-Frog, RoonPicker, Alex Who, Starrylock, and Pocket Women. Most of them have YouTube channels, and if you haven't checked them out already, please do. Their links will be in the show notes as well. This show is only possible because of the information provided and the support of this amazing community. So if you value this podcast, please help support it. You can do that by sending in your news, links, events, giveaway information, anything you have that's Locksport related. Nothing is too big or too small. So send it in to podcast@thelocksportscast.com or any of the other contact methods listed in the show notes. Or you can go to contact tab or support tab on thelocksportscast.com and you can find it there. Don't forget to share the podcast with your lockpicking friends, online or in person. You can leave a review on your favorite podcasting platform or a comment and a thumbs up on YouTube. Or if you want to support financially, you can subscribe on Patreon or donate via PayPal. We have a couple of sales this week. Commando Locks is still having their 15% off all locks using the code FALL2020. That expires on the 1st of January 2021. Mako Locks is also having a 15% off with the code BUYMAKO. I don't have an expiration date on that, so I don't know when that will be good. So you just have to try it and see. Giveaways this week. Dusty and Windy sent in a note saying that he was coming up on his 100 subscriber giveaway. He was at 99 when he sent the note in, and he hasn't got all the details together yet, but says he will announce it soon, and the hashtag will be DNW100, and that's what he has so far, and I looked today, and he has just hit 100, so I guess we should be watching for that. Panda-Frog is still having his hashtag BAD100 giveaway. The rules are basically you have to pick the worst lock in your collection. The giveaway ends when he posts his 100th English video, which will be ENG-100. You have to use the hashtag BAD100 in the description or the title. And he will add a new prize for every 5 entries that he gets. You can check out the details in his video ENG-082. And I will have a link to that in the show notes, of course. And RoonPicker is still having his hashtag RPSpicy challenge. That is the giveaway where you have to take a shot of hot sauce before you pick a lock. And if you want to enter more than once, you have to take a shot of successfully hot or hot sauce each time. He says the giveaway will end once his wife comes back from maternity leave, which is estimated to be December 1st, 2020. Alex Hu's Mad Aussie Challenge has been quite entertaining to watch. I haven't been able to catch all the videos, but I've tried to catch some here and there, and his challenge is very unique. If you haven't watched those videos, go check them out. Hashtag Mad Aussie Challenge. It will be in the show notes. Starrylock is still doing his hashtag Shoutout Monday series, where he highlights a channel with less than 100 subscribers. He tries to incentivize you to go check those channels out, subscribe, and comment by having a giveaway. And the giveaway every month is a 20-pound Law Lock Tools gift certificate, but this month he was also including the option of taking a Sparrow's DD pick instead of the gift certificate. And a quick reminder, Pocket Woman is also supporting the Shoutout Monday series, and she will be doing a couple of those videos this month. So make sure you check out her channel as well to make sure you get all of the video entries. And of course, I'm doing my giveaway here on the Lock Sportscast and Charles Build Scrap. The way you get entered in that is by sharing information with me or sharing the podcast itself. If you share a story or a link or anything that I use in the podcast, you will get 1 entry for each item that you share that I use. If you share the podcast online, make sure to tag me or send me a screenshot so that I know that you shared it, and I will get an entry for each one of those. Remember, this podcast needs your support. You can support the podcast in several ways, the most important of which is by sending in your information. Anything you have that's Locksport related, nothing is too small, nothing is too big. Just send it in and let me sort it out. You can share the podcast with your friends. You can leave a review or a comment on YouTube and a thumbs up over there. You can subscribe on Patreon or donate via PayPal. Just a quick reminder, if you donate or if you subscribe on Patreon, you will get early access to the episodes. That's usually only about a day for most of them, but a little longer on the interview episodes. If you support the show in some significant way, I will give you a producer credit on the episode and share a link to your YouTube channel, blog, or whatever you want. So make sure you send me that link if you have something that you want shared. Thank you, and remember to keep it legal.